Hey, beautiful souls. I hope you're having a great day today. Last night, we had a very powerful geomagnetic storm that flowed in, and all just 24 hours before the full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, which kicks in this evening, stepping us all directly in to eclipse season. And the spirit, in the cycle that spirit has been warning us about for months now. It's here, friends. It's here, and it's going to get beyond real and real quickly. So hold on tight, friends. The roller coaster just took off at high speeds, and we're about to hit a few loops coming down this big hill. As you know by now, yet another attempt was made on Donald Trump's life, attempt to eliminate him, not just from the race, but an attempt to erase him from the earth completely. Spirit warned us of the first attempt in my visions of Trump being hit in the right side and holding his hand up that he was okay. After that attempt, once again, Spirit stated to us that another attempt was coming. And lo and behold, over the weekend in Florida, as you probably know by now, the attempt was made and the man was arrested. Lots of shadiness around this, friends. Of course there is. And it's not all so coincidental, as we don't believe in coincidences here. Details around this guy's arrest and around this guy is where it gets really shady, including the alleged fact that he was in a BlackRock commercial. No coincidences there either. We're going to talk about those details today and future attempts on Donald Trump, but not only just Donald Trump, Putin as well. Could both of them, Trump and Putin, be gone before we reach January 2025? I'm going to share a disturbing dream I had, more of a nightmare, about the future president. You're going to want to hear it. But it was just a dream. So hang on, we're going to talk about that today. And remember, not long ago, I saw visions of a dam bursting from floodwaters and flooding going out into a village in my visions. Sadly, this did occur over the weekend, when a major flood from storms hit, from Storm Boris, I believe its name was, hitting Poland and all parts of Europe and all throughout, causing major flooding, major Austria, Romania, and other nearby countries. The footage, friends, is literally apocalyptic looking, like something out of a Hollywood movie. Also, a bridge collapse in Germany from storm waters as well, something that Spirit told us we would continue to see. Parts of Europe wasn't the only place that Spirit warned and I warned in my last weather prediction video. The question is there more to come? Well, of course there is, friends. Of course there is. What if I told you that this is just the beginning? Just the beginning of what they're seeing in Europe, and Shanghai, China got wiped out. Not just in the way of flooding, but in other weather events and earth movements as well. Not only that, it wasn't long ago that I warned the area of Vancouver Island after my first warning came into fruition, and I pointed to that area on the map in my first weather prediction video I did earlier this year. Pointed right to that area, and even in my second one, that came into fruition. And soon after it came into fruition, again I pointed to that area of the map and said to watch. Spirit told us to watch that area. That they were all from that area, from Vancouver Island, all the way down to San Francisco, California. And also in this past week, another earthquake hit Southern California. Southern California, Texas got hit with the biggest earthquake they've seen in a very, very long time. So what's going to go, friends? Is it going to be the San Andreas fault like they try to tell us in movies? Or is it actually going to be the Cascadia fault line that runs exactly where I was pulled to? And I didn't know this when Spirit pulled me to the map from Vancouver all the way down to San Francisco, all the way down there. So we're going to talk about that today, along with my vision that I had of San Francisco earthquake that I had a while ago. Is that about soon to be fulfilled? Is that on San Francisco's doorstep? Last week I spoke about seeing, I'm pretty sure it was last week, I had a vision, and might actually even been in the recent video I just posted, my top 10 for the remainder of 2024 predictions. I posted that last week. A lot of you missed it. Make sure you check it out. I posted that, I think, Sunday, but I actually recorded it last week, and I think it might be in that video. But regardless, I spoke about two vessels that I saw on the waters from two different countries having some type of an incident. And I strongly felt that that incident involved China. And Spirit told us that China was going to start flexing their muscles, especially on the waters. Well, a Philippines vessel collided with a Chinese vessel, and of course, China is flexing their muscles here, blaming it on the Philippines, trying to claim more of the waters to themselves. I have a lot of new predictions revolved around that in China today. So are they purposely poking the Philippines? I have no doubt that they are, friends, no doubt. I spoke in the recent past about mass media becoming a huge spotlight. I think I said this the last week. Mass media becoming a huge spotlight due to their lies and their manipulation. Well, now ABC is being placed under the microscope due to the apparent alleged fixed debate. Is that what Spirit was talking about? Or is there more to come when it comes to the lying mass media? I made predictions around arrests, many arrests, visions of massive arrests, which I believe are going to come next year. But even previous to that, I said we would see the arrests of celebrities and political leaders. We saw the arrest of DT that happened after that prediction, and I continued, and Spirit continued to tell us there'd be more and more. Well, one that we also discussed previously was that of Sean P. Diddy Combs, and all the stuff that was going on with the police raiding his house, FBI raiding his house. It's even worse. So he was arrested over the weekend. Over the weekend, of course, lawyers are saying that, claiming innocent, but we really don't even know what the charges are yet. At least as the time I prepared this, there was nothing available on what the actual charges are for P. Diddy Combs. A lot of karma coming his way, that's for sure. Not only that, over the weekend, we saw the former aide for the New York governor being indicted on fraud charges and for allegedly working with China. Allegedly, that's true, Spirit says. She definitely was. So there we go with the arrest of political leaders. More and more of this is going to come about, friends. More and more. Will P. Diddy Combs be Epsteined while he's in custody? It's possible. I made predictions around the arrests, not only arrests, but we witnessed over the weekend the major pipeline explosion that I had visions of. A massive disaster that caused nearby homes to catch on fire. So prayers to the folks in Texas. And the Sahara Desert. Friends, the Sahara Desert, which I made predictions about snow in the Sahara in the past. And the first time I made that prediction over a decade ago, people said I was cray-cray until it happened. And then those trolls seemed to disappear really quick. And then not within the past 2 years, I predicted that again, and it did happen. But you know what's happening in the Sahara Desert now? The Sahara Desert's turning green, friends. It's turning green. So we have so much to talk about today, friends, on this Tuesday, September 17th, 2024, episode number 135 of Tuesday's Prediction Update. So let us all vibe with the tribe and feed that prediction addiction. Hey, boo. Because you all know what time it is.
It's Tittle Tea time, baby.
Beautiful souls, beautiful tribe, Satnam, welcome once again to Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time Predictions Update. If you're new here, my name is Joseph Tittel, a.k.a. Spiritman JT. Right here, Spiritman JT. There's no JT here, just Spiritman. And if you're new here and you want accurate predictions, prophecy, truth, and great meditations, because I just put one out, and you want to vibe with our awesome tribe, you got to smash that there subscribe, the bell, and all. And make sure that you check every Tuesday, sometimes Wednesday, depending on what part of the planet, or sometimes there's a glitch and we're a day late. Knock on wood, that hasn't happened in a while, thankfully. Watch, it'll probably happen today now that I just said that. But regardless, if you don't see me by Wednesday on your feed, go directly to my channel, because I just noticed after posting yesterday's meditation that all of a sudden people start to drop. And I know they're not dropping because you come back to the channel and say, oh, I was mysteriously unsubscribed from your channel. We have no ability to do that. Only one person or one algorithm can do that, not us. So always be sure to check your subscriptions on this channel and other channels if they don't pop up on your feed. Also, always click that thumbs up love button because it takes a lot of time and effort for content providers to put this information out, especially for myself when it comes to predictions and putting all this together. I appreciate just a little love by hitting that thumbs up. That'll get this information out to the algorithms to get this onto more people's platforms so our tribe gets bigger, friends. And we've grown greatly this year. Let us continue growing this channel and this tribe in amazing ways. Down below in the description, you'll find the links to my social media, including the free newsletter with all of the astrology and numerology for the month, all the content from the previous month so you never miss any great content. And again, remember, I just did a meditation, a powerful healing meditation that I really would hope that you would do tonight or within the next 24 hours, or in general. Go watch that video. I'll leave a link up above. And I've done many meditations calling your power back, protecting your energy. So check them out. This is the time, friends. You're going to need to ground and meditate more now than ever as we move through into 2025. Also, you can find me on Spotify, Rumble, and other platforms. Again, the links are down below. If you are on Spotify, give me a follow, or on Rumble, please check me out there. And you can find out more information about myself at my website, Joseph Tittel, and it's TITTEL.com or SpiritmanJT.com. And if you're looking to schedule an appointment, again, please don't email the office for dates that aren't listed on the website. If they're not listed on the website, there's nothing sooner than what's listed. I have a very busy schedule coming up, and I'm booked out till probably sometime in mid-October at this point, maybe the end of October, I'm not sure. But dates go quickly. And I have upcoming classes, starting with the Transform into Abundance class that can help you make 2025 the best year in manifesting all your dreams and desires. Check it out in the newsletter down below or directly on my website. Transform into Abundance. I believe it starts on a full moon in November, if I remember correctly. Lastly, before we move on, watch out for frauds on social media platforms, especially Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Anybody that sends you a private message that appears to be me on those platforms, I assure you it is not me. Especially when they tell you they have a message from Spirit or giving you a reading or any other kind of baloney that they're trying to feed you. That baloney's stale. It will sadden you. They will rip you off. They are scammers. Report those profiles immediately. No need to email my office because sadly it happens all the time. So shall we move on now, friends? Hey, boo. Like my little hey, boo, Halloween's coming, my favorite time of the year. Let us move on to episode number 135 of
Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time, baby.
So yesterday we had another powerful flow of extreme rays of energy from our sun as yet another geomagnetic storm came rolling in. We had several over the weekend, but this one, it was a G4 magnetic storm. So over the past week, we've seen a series of energies flowing in from our sun. Something Spirit told us to expect to happen right before the eclipse and again before the equinox. So therefore, there's definitely many more of these to come over the next week. And I don't know about you, friends, but yesterday my body was literally vibrating. It was actually towards the evening. And some of you, I looked at the clock, I'm like, people on the East Coast are probably asleep by now. But literally, my body was vibrating. It was really interesting. Not necessarily in a negative manner. It just was weird. And I knew what it was coming from. I could feel it really strongly. These energies were affecting my body, my mind, and my spirit, as they are you as well. And you likely experienced the same type of vibration echoing throughout all the cells of your body as well. This could have had you feeling a bit dragged, your butt's dragging, while at the same time, it almost could feel like jet lag, actually, come to think of it. While at the same time, some of you may have had a bit of a boost of energy, because sometimes these energies give us a boost if we tap into them correctly. It affects everybody very differently. But some of it can be energizing and give us this energizing feeling to get some things done, which also helps us to ignite new ideas, new designs, inventions, innovations. So this period coming up, this is a time where, lots of innovations and inventions and creative things are going to come to light, whether it's for you personally on a personal level or also on a global scale. Not only that, this could also have you feeling not only just dragged or feeling a bit energized, but it may also have you feeling down, completely down and out, and again, really, really drained. It's your body, friends. It is your body telling you that you need to rest. You need to rest. You need to unplug from anything and everything that brings you anxiety, worry, or concern. That includes even predictions. If they're going to give you anxiety, worry, or concern, especially over these next few weeks, tune out for a little while. Unplug. Just stop by and give me a like, though, on the way. And come back and watch later. Seriously, though. Be sure to stay hydrated. Drink lots and lots of water and avoid sugary drinks and junk foods, says the spirits. We should do that anyway, but Spirit specifically said that message for today moving forward. Spirit reminds us also that we are in a new cycle of ascension, a much more powerful cycle than those that we experienced in the past. This cycle began on the 15th. Interesting enough, the same day the second attempt was made to eliminate DT. This cycle is going to carry us through the remainder of 2024, friends. Which we're going to have a short break in the energy, Spirit says, when we step into mid to late November. Probably actually the second and third week of November, because the very end of November, we step into that next big retrograde cycle and another big energy shift as the year comes to a close. So this coming Sunday, we're going to welcome in the season of the harvest in the Northern Hemisphere and the season of rebirth in the Southern Hemisphere. And regardless where you happen to reside, the equinox offers us all an opportunity to reflect over the past 6 months since the last equinox, holding gratitude for all the past blessings, the lessons learned, and the amazing things that you have harvested into your life. At the same time, this is going to mark off another period of rebirth for all of us, a time to set our intentions, especially come the new moon eclipse on the 2nd. I'll probably do a separate meditation for that as well. I just thought of that. That would be a good one to do, a manifest meditation. I'm going to have to remember to do that. I'm sure you'll all remind me in the comments down below as we get towards the end of this month. So at the same time, this is going to mark off again another period of rebirth, a time to set our intentions for the coming 6 months until the next equinox is on our doorsteps come March. So I also remind you that we're in a powerful cycle of healing. Very powerful. Hence, that's why I put out the guided meditation yesterday that I uploaded. So again, be sure to check that out. It's very powerful healing, balancing of your energy, and at the same time, you get to bring some healing to Mother Earth too, and she greatly needs it and appreciates it. So today, very significant day in the astrological calendar. The moon's conjunction with Saturn in Pisces, combined with the Pisces lunar eclipse, is going to bring about profound emotional release, friends. Big time emotions, especially for those water signs, especially for the Pisces. So this energy is going to ask us to confront our fears, to let go of our past hurts, and embrace the healing power of forgiveness. The lunar eclipse is going to amplify this process, illuminating what's hidden and helping us to transcend old emotional patterns. Being it brings out what's hidden, I expect that to happen on the world scale as well between now and the end of October. It's also a time of spiritual awakening and to do deep inner work on ourselves, guiding us to align with our soul's true purpose. And in order to reach that true purpose, again, we have to be willing to do the work on ourselves, something that many people sadly are not willing to do. As simple as just doing that meditation that I put out yesterday. That is focusing on yourself, helping you to release the emotions and energies that need to be released that you can't do on the physical level. You can only do that through somebody that does spiritual healing, somebody that's legitimate, or through that guided meditation or others like it. So be sure, Spirit says, and I say to you all, to take some time for your own personal journey of healing and your personal spiritual ascension. Write down all the things that you wish to release. Burn a yellow or a silver candle to honor the full moon. Charge it with the full moon energy. And this is also going to make for a great time, friends, to cleanse and program your crystals. Crystals, amulets, talismans. And I did a video a while back. I believe it's titled Clearing Negative Energy. It shows you how to properly smudge and cleanse your home. But also part 2 of that video shows you how to properly cleanse and program crystals, talismans, and amulets. So check that out. I'll try to remember and find it and put a link up in this video at some point. And then when the links in the video, you can go down to the description and you'll find all the links in the video that I post throughout the video. They only allow us to do 5, unfortunately. So the autumn equinox on September 22nd, my favorite day of the year, of course, because it's my BD. And it marks the moment of perfect balance, friends. Perfect balance between light and dark, day and night. As the sun's going to enter Libra, we're going to be reminded of the importance of harmony that comes into our lives. Libra's energy is going to encourage us to seek balance in our relationships and to approach life with grace and fairness. Simultaneously, Venus is going to enter Scorpio, adding this layer of intensity and passion when it comes to our interactions. So this transit's going to invite us all to dive very deep into our emotions. I told you that emotional roller coaster ride's happening. Just took off, friends, today. So explore your desires, explore your positive emotions too. Plug into the positive. If you're manifesting something, plug into it emotionally as if you already have it, as if you already reached that finish line of your goal or of that marathon in life that you're running. That is the key, to live it as if you're already living it. So remember that this is, again, this transit that's coming up on the equinox next weekend on Sunday is going to have us diving deep into our emotions, exploring all of your desires so that you can transform your relationships and your life. It's a very, very powerful time to foster in new, deeper connections and embrace the beauty of emotional vulnerability. Can you do that? I know you can. I know you can. So as I stated earlier, hold on tight, friends, because this roller coaster just took off downhill and it's about to hit 3 big lightning loops. I say lightning loops because there used to be a ride in Great Adventure, Six Flags, New Jersey called Lightning Loops when I was in high school, and I'll never forget. We talked my friend Jen's mom into taking us, and Jen's mom was a little bit of a bigger woman, and something happened that got stuck in the roller coaster or something was happening. I remember her freaking out, and me and Jen laughed so hard. It wasn't funny, but it was because we were only teenagers. But that made me think of it. So yeah, we're heading downhill, about to go through these lightning loops, followed by a twist and turn, one twist and turn after another. And this is where we begin to see weather and earth events intensifying as well, which takes me to my first topic of today: weather, bridges, and dams. Damn that dam. Damn that dam. So in the realm of weather over the past week, we have begun to witness an uptick in storms, floods, and earthquakes, starting with the massive flooding. And Spirit says this is just the beginning, so we must watch October closely. Remember, October is always a reflection of next year, so we're always reminded to make October the best month ever. We always want October, both personally to be amazing, but also universally on the planet to be amazing. It helps promote an amazing year to come. Here, let me just give you a quick example of why that is too, is in numerology. So the planet Earth is in an 8 vibration universally right now. So that makes the month of October, 8 plus 1 is a 9. It makes October a 9 universal month. You add the year to the month that we're in, and that makes it a 1. 9 month of October is the same as next year's 9 year. So whatever year you're in. So I'm in a 3 year. So October's my 4. So I want to do things in the 4 vibration in October to promote that for next year. Travel in October so you can travel more next year. Take more days off so you take more days off next year. But when it comes to the world, we have to watch the world and the world events, because the world events that take place on the global stage is going to literally foretell the future for all of us for 2025, for the world in 2025. In my last weather prediction video, along with predictions I made since that last video, and I think I did that video in July, early July maybe. But during some Teatime updates, I pointed to areas on the map to warn for flooding and major events. And last week we saw the hurricane that shifted a few degrees. If you remember, just as Spirit said it would, it was going to shift a few degrees and hit directly New Orleans, which it did. But luckily enough for New Orleans, when it came to mostly flooded areas, other than destruction like most hurricanes bring. So they lucked out with that. But there were still flooded streets in the French Quarter and all throughout New Orleans and Baton Rouge and all over the place. They lucked out, though, in the long run. And I don't feel like necessarily they need to worry so much as Texas or Florida may need to worry in the near future for hurricanes. So we can also, we can't say the same when it comes to lucking out, when it comes to the country of China. A country, again, Spirit repetitively warned would be getting hit with karma and being hit by devastating weather, floods, and even earthquakes. Well, check out this footage, friends. This is footage from Shanghai, China, where they were pounded, literally pounded, by massive typhoon, certainly making it appear like something apocalyptic out of a Hollywood movie. And for those caught in the path, anyway, it definitely looked like something out of a Hollywood movie. This caused hundreds of buildings to sway back and forth, causing large windows and large building tops to literally crash down into the flooded streets. Crazy weather in China, friends. In past predictions, I also stated that we would see several more bridge collapses due to floods, including the vision that I had of seeing a dam burst at its seams, sending floodwaters into a village, washing away homes and structures. Sadly, this is exactly what happened in Poland as a dam burst, sending huge waves of water into a village, sweeping everything away in its path. The devastation, as you see, is absolutely, again, apocalyptic, crazy. Could you imagine? It really does look like something out of a movie. And then we have the storms hitting Europe. And the storms that have been hitting Europe have been absolutely ruthless. And again, for those in the path of these storms, it seems like something out of a Hollywood movie. The footage is disturbing as we see massive floods hitting Poland, Austria, Romania, the Czech Republic, and many others. Again, footage is alarming to say the least. These storms are responsible for taking down a bridge in Germany. Luckily, only moments before the train was about to cross that bridge. And thankfully, there were no vehicles on the bridge or no folks on this bridge at all when it flopped down into the waters below. So they lucked out. But that's what I've been seeing visions of. Spirit told us before the Maryland Bridge, because Spirit told us about that happening, and it did. And afterwards, we were told many others, from floods, from earthquakes, and also from conflict and even fear attacks in the future. So there's more to come. But right now we're focused on the water and the waters. So these storms are literally ruthless, friends. Ruthless. And thankfully, again, in Germany, they lucked out with the bridge, nobody being on it. Another thing that Spirit warned us in the way of weather was extremely early snowfall, if you recall. And I think I said that in the last weather video. Well, who would have ever thought that there would be snowfall before the summer months even come to a close? We haven't even gotten the winter. We're still in summer. We haven't even gotten to the autumn yet. That's a week away. So who would think of snowfall at this time of the year? Well, in in the Austrian Alps and in Italy, of course, they had snow, leaving the mountains covered in a layer of beautiful white snow, showing us a deep cleansing is definitely coming to our planet. Snow is all about purity. The white's about purity and cleansing. It looks like a big cleansing, especially coming to that area of the globe. Italy and, the Austrian Alps. That's where I believe we're going to see some of the biggest volcanic activity taking place when we get into 2025. Perhaps even this year. I wouldn't rule it out at all for the month of October because something big's coming in October. Many big things are coming in the month of October. Those predictions are going to be interesting to work on, to say the least. So moving right along to a couple predictions revolved around this. Because Europe, Spirit says, is in for a rough winter. And the warning goes out to all our friends in Europe to start prepping now for the winter months. Have a backup of heat sources to cook your food. And I see major snow and ice storms knocking out power in some places for several weeks. That's just Europe. That's not even counting everywhere else that's going to get hit. That's why I'm going to do a new weather video probably for the month of October for the remainder of the year. Because a lot of what I said in the last video has come into fruition. So I'm sure there's a lot more that we can nail in upcoming events when it comes to weather. So I see major snow and ice storms again knocking out power to some places for weeks. This coming winter season's going to claim more lives in Europe and globally than ever previously reported. It will not only be Europe who will also see a cold front blowing in, bringing early winter temperatures in the beginning of autumn season. I see weird weather fronts coming in with odd temperatures for both Australia and New Zealand as well. In northern United States and Canada, new records are going to be set not only for a sudden drop in temperatures, but also strange warm-ups in December and January. Like, a strange warm-up would be like all of a sudden it's 80 degrees on Christmas or something. I previously had visions of a massive storm, dark clouds, and creepy skies heading towards the coast of New York City. I checked in with the spirits this morning, and the vision spirit shows still hold strongly. I saw the same repetitive vision all over again as I was standing behind Ellis Island where the Statue of Liberty is. Saw these things rolling in. It almost looked like funnel clouds. What do they call them? Water funnel clouds. Yeah, it was pretty intense. And Spirit says that still holds strong. And this could be heading towards New York and New Jersey, of course, just in time, of course, for the elections, friends. Just in time. Not only storms, but I feel other major events taking place, of course, before the elections. Either a major Earth event, such as a massive earthquake that calls for humanitarian aid, or some type of large-scale fear attack on America. We like to say fear attack instead of the T word. So let us all pray and let us all hold in the light that this does not happen. But some things are inevitable. Speaking of strange weather events, check this out. In the past, on 2 separate occasions, one was many years back, over a decade ago, I believe, in past predictions, because I've been doing these predictions for a very long time. I said that there was going to be snow in the Sahara Desert. And I remember when I first made that prediction, at least 10 years ago, the trolls went on their attack. But boy, those trolls shut down really quickly when that actually came into fruition a couple months after I said it. So not only that, I predicted it a second time, and the second time was only in the past couple of years that it happened. So, well, friends, if it's not the snow that's changing our climates, something's definitely changing our climates. Check this out. This is what's happening in the Sahara Desert right now. This does not show a changing in our climates right in front of our face and a shifting of the Earth's poles, then what does, friends? What does? Nobody would have ever expected that to happen, and it's happening, which just shows us more snow is coming to the Sahara deserts. I said when the Earth moves under our feet. That's kind of scary. Have you ever had the Earth move under your feet? Not quite fun. I was in a very small earthquake in Pennsylvania. I'll never forget it. It was small. The whole living room was shaking, though. That was in Levittown, Pennsylvania. Spirit says Levittown, Pennsylvania can expect another small quake within the next month or two. Interesting. So I recently warned several places of earthquakes. One of them right here in the United States. When Spirit pulled me to 3 places for earthquakes. One of them being my warning for a shaking to hit Texas. Lo and behold, Texas was just hit with a 5.1, and it was a shaker. It shook things up pretty well. Didn't cause any damage that I know of, but it definitely shook things up. That was the largest quake that they've seen in Texas in quite some time. Indeed, an uptick in earthquakes is here, friends, not just in the States, as Spirit warned it would be, but globally as well. I warned the area, if you recall, from Vancouver Island all the way down to San Francisco, California. And I've been warning that area since the beginning of this year. Not long after that first warning, we witnessed the first of a series of quakes hitting the area right at Vancouver Island, right off the coast. Spirit warned right after that there would be more. And indeed, over the weekend, nearby Vancouver Island, just above it, certainly one of the islands that probably will be submerged in the future. Not probably, Spirit says, oh, it will be. An island that will be submerged in the future, maybe in a coming decade, I would say. Along with many others that I have been seeing in visions, while new islands emerge. I had visions of, again, islands going under and then new land masses coming out of the land. That's what I believe Edgar Cayce's prophecy of the rise of Atlantis. I believe it's two things. I believe it's a landmass or the melting of the Arctic that reveals Atlantean technology. But I also believe the rise of Atlantis is humanity rising up to that level of ascension in consciousness because they were much wiser and much higher in vibration. That's what I believe most of what Cayce was talking about. So that area, so here's the most recent earthquake data. And you see where Texas was hit multiple times. And on the left, you see the 5.1 magnitude recording on the left of this photo. This is a closer look up at the states and the data that just for the past 24 hours and 2.5 magnitudes or higher. And that's for United States, just in the 24 hours. I have a strong pull to Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a state that I warned in the past of a future major earthquake. I had visions, you'll recall, of Oklahoma City in the past. And I think that was in my channel predictions from last November. So that was a while back. But I had visions of Oklahoma City in the past and some type of devastation to Oklahoma City. So I'm calling for not necessarily Oklahoma City, but I'm calling now for a significant quake to hit Texas again, but also Oklahoma, in between Texas and Colorado. So that whole area, I was very strongly pulled to on the map this morning. This is the map for the past 7 days, and 4.5 magnitudes or higher. And we are definitely seeing quite an uptake in earthquake activity, friends. If you recall, a few weeks ago, there were only between 63 and 72 earthquakes, 4.5 or higher. I showed you the map a couple weeks ago. I told you that was normal activity. People thought that was high. I'm like, that's not high at all. It's normal. More high when we go over 100. And today, 108, friends. 108 earthquakes, 4.5 or higher in the past week. That is quite the uptick. Now take notice to the smaller quakes near the volcano in Hawaii. These are small, I think even less than 2.5, but small. At the same time, I feel strong, the strength below the surface there, below Hawaii and the Pacific, is building up. So I expect Hawaii to soon witness a quite significant volcanic blast near their coast because I saw visions of the lava flowing into nearby waters. Let's go to Chile, though, because Chile came to my mind very, very strongly, and I feel another huge shaking, damaging buildings and structures hitting in and around Chile. Also, I feel another quake off the coastline of Chile and Argentina in the Pacific. So this is likely going to bring about at least a small tsunami wave. Hopefully none at all, but if so, one, hopefully just a small one. A tsunami wave hitting the coastlines of Argentina and Chile. So I'm also being pulled to the Tropics of Cancer, as you see here. The Tropics of Cancer, we see a lot of uptick in activity there, as you see. And I recently predicted something would be happening beneath the sea around the Tropics of Cancer. I think that was in my map scrying in the weather video. So I felt something building up there and bringing about some type of a huge tsunami in the area of the Philippines and Taiwan. A tsunami that's perhaps going to reach as far as Hawaii and Japan. Spirit says many of those nearby islands, like the Marshall Islands and all of those in that area of the Tropic of Cancer, even near Guam and others in that area in the future, I don't know how far in the future, but they will sink. While at the same time, a new landmass nearby is going to emerge from the waters. I remind you also of my vision in the past. This was over a year ago too, I think. I had a vision of the Golden Gate Bridge, the big red bridge down there in San Francisco, swinging back and forth, and it looked like kind of like in the winds, but there was no wind. There was no storm. It was a clear day, actually, in my vision. And Spirit told us that that bridge would be closed temporarily for repairs. Now, that was closed since I said that for repairs, but not because it was shaking. So there's definitely something coming still. And I feel strongly that this would be related, of course, to an earthquake. No doubt it's going to be an earthquake. And I warned the southern tip of California, not far from where I point it on the map. And that's where there was a big shake, somewhat of a shake. I wouldn't say big, but significant shake in the area of Malibu, California. So we have that whole area from Malibu all the way up above Vancouver Island, all acting up, right, friends? Exactly an area I was pulled to. I also had a vision, and I believe this, I see larger devastation coming to that area of Malibu and that area of California, but that perhaps may not be until 2025. But I had a vision of seeing multi-million-dollar homes literally collapsing into the waters. So it's going to be likely, to me, the Cascadia fault line, and that will eventually ignite the San Andreas fault. But everybody keeps their eye on the San Andreas fault, and I don't believe it's going to be that one. It's going to be the Cascadia, and maybe a double activation of both. But it's the Cascadia fault line that needs to be watched closely. Remember also, I was just pulled to Taiwan earlier this month for a shaking. And the last time I warned Taiwan of an earthquake, they had a very significant earthquake earlier this year. So I was pulled there again not that long ago, if you recall, and I felt a shaking. Whether this is going to be, whether it's a large earthquake this time that's shaking Taiwan again, or there may be other types of shakings. It could be all of the above, but I feel like the Taiwanese are going to be dealing with political shakings and conflict in the near future. And that could be multiple shakings happening to the Taiwanese. An earthquake, political shaking, and some type of conflict. Speaking of conflict, you'll recall my vision that I posted in my top 10 predictions on Sunday. This was actually recorded earlier this week. If you missed that top 10 predictions for the remainder of 2024, check it out. But again, it was posted over the weekend or Friday or Sunday. I can't remember which day. It was recorded earlier last week. I think Wednesday of last week to be exact. And I stated that I saw some type of an incident on the waters between two different countries and two different vessels. I stated that I felt China would be flexing its muscles and itching basically for a fight and conflict. This exact scenario, friends, just played out in the waters near the Philippines. China flexing their muscles and, of course, in turn, blaming. Chinese and Philippine ships collide again in disputed waters that the countries are trading blame. Of course they are. China's Coast Guard accused the Philippines of deliberately crashing one of its ships into a Chinese vessel. Spirit says it was the exact opposite. Exact opposite. And it said in a statement on its website that two Philippine Coast Guard ships entered waters near Shoal, ignored a warning from the Chinese Coast Guard, and intentionally collided one of their ships into a Chinese boat at 3:24 a.m. Now, the bad thing about this is that the Chinese say that they are going to make a point, so to speak. These dangerous maneuvers resulted in collision, causing structural damage to both the Philippine Coast Guard vessels. Not to the Chinese, but the Philippines are the ones that got damaged. Interesting, but they said they hit them. And I'd show you the pictures, or you could go look them up for yourself. These pictures aren't really good that I'm looking at here. But of course, China says they're going to make a point. And basically what China's doing is trying to extend their waters and make their waters, what they claim as being theirs. It's crazy, friends. The whole thing's pretty crazy. So this is pretty much exactly what I just stated recently in a prediction. And I said it would occur in past predictions, and Spirit states that this is just the beginning of China truly becoming the bullies of the oceans and the seas. Spirit shows me China as the new pirates of the sea. Like literally it showed me Chinese ships decorated like pirate ships, trying to take control of waters and all of the sea life within the waters, overfishing and taking more than what they deserve. Taking more than their share, said Spirit, and leaving other surrounding countries with little to none. Yeah, they're definitely overfishing the seas. So China's in for it. They're in for it over the next few years. And the CCP will collapse eventually. China will be broken up into different states, and it'll be much better for the future. So China's going to continue extending their coastlines first, out further and further, making claims to the waters that they are obviously not their waters, shared waters, and the waters of other countries, trying to claim their waters, such as the Philippines and Taiwan, as they are doing right now, trying to flex their muscle. China is itching not only for a conflict, but also to test out some type of secret warfare against others, according to Spirit, including something that they have held on one of their submarines. I don't know what it is, but Spirit said some type of new secret warfare that they want to test out and have a reason to test out. And some of this secret warfare is on a Chinese submarine. China will, in the future, use any excuse, like this one with the Philippines, to blast missiles at a ship on the waters, causing folks on the ship to jump off. This was my vision. Causing people on the ship to jump off and only a few surviving. This will call for talks in which China is going to refuse those talks. Remember my visions of China going into several territories in the early morning hours between 2 and 4 a.m. This is all connected. And I feel that this could be soon approaching. And I would tell you to watch for this incident on the waters first, where China uses a missile or shoots at another boat. That's going to be the sign, I believe. And that's going to be China's way of bullying themselves into conflict. That's what they want. Just like the mass media wants mayhem. Yes, mass media wants mayhem, friends. We know that. I spoke in the recent past about the mass media and them becoming a huge spotlight due to their lies and manipulation. Well, now, friends, ABC has lost over $50 million in sponsors and ad revenue due to being placed under the microscope due to apparent and alleged fixed debate. Allegedly fixed, of course, in favor of Harris, which is given the details and given everything that's happening. Well, let's go actually back. Let me step back for a minute to the $50 million in ad revenue. Friends, ABC's sponsors are pulling out. Their sponsors are pulling out that pay for it. Remember what I said a while back that eventually networks would end up facing bankruptcies and laying people off? Well, could be apparently one of those predictions also coming into fruition in the near future. So they allegedly, according to many people, and many of their sponsors, if they're pulling out of their advertising with the ABC news outlet. So those mass media news outlets are a huge part, of course, of the globalist agenda. Not to mention that they're all owned by the same globalists. And they also repeat the same BS over and over and over again, friends. We've seen the videos where they're all saying the same thing, and it comes in like a collage. I should have found that and put that in there for you, but I'm sure you saw it before. They all say the same thing. They repeat it over and over and over again. And remember, if you keep telling a lie repeatedly long enough, you will get everyone to believe in those lies. And that's what they have been doing for a very long time, friends. So reports have come out that Harris was allegedly using a very high-tech real pearl earring. I could talk. Pearl earring. Let me get that out separately. That actually was the speaker in her ear. No doubt. 100%. Allowing her to hear whoever it was on the other side of that microphone. Likely Obama. We heard Obama say it in the past. If I could put a microphone in someone's ear and tell them everything to do, I would do it. Well, he's been doing that with Biden for the past 3.5 years. Now he's going to do it with her. Him, and he's being told what to do too. So it's not just, we can't just say it's all Obama. He's actually, there's a higher up that's the puppeteer that's really controlling everything. I've told you in the past, that's the richest families. Someone asked the richest families, just do your own research, friends. Go down that rabbit hole. They're all connected. It all starts with the two families, the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. Go down that rabbit hole if you haven't already. There's lots of great documentaries about it over the years that have been put out. If you can find them anymore, they like to take things away. So going back to this, they're allowing her to hear whoever was being in her ear. This has already been pretty much proven because you can go see the microphone's $2,000. The ear thing's $2,000. It's high tech and it's a real pearl in it too. So our government will spend your $2,000 easily. It's all your tax money going out anyway. So we had an ABC whistleblower come out with all this truth, talking about it, getting ready to blow the whistle even harder on the truth. Is it a coincidence that this same whistleblower, friends, just passed away in a terrible automobile accident? Yeah. Did you hear about that one? Yeah, the ABC whistleblower that was going to blow the whole whistle on everything that ABC was doing to rig everything is now deceased. Doesn't this sound slightly familiar? Automobile accident? There's never any coincidences, friends. It sounds like our friends at ABC must be friends with those at Boeing and friends with the Clintons as well, because you mess with any of them, you seem to disappear very, very quickly or your life gets destroyed. Crazy. I can't wait till all that truth comes out. It will by now in 2030, hopefully within the next year, but we can't push things too quick, right? So there was a call to do an independent investigation on ABC into their very unfair debate that was an obvious circus show with the monitors being the biggest clowns and ringleaders of the whole thing. Maybe Harris even being their head clown. So, the whole thing was a clown show. Just the whole thing. So unfair that they fact check one candidate, but they don't fact check the other candidate. And the amount of lies that just came out at that debate were just disgusting to me. It's disgusting and disgraceful. So not to mention, in my opinion, they did not at all cover, ask, or answer any real questions that I'd like to know the answers to. How about you? I didn't get any answers there. Didn't get any answers at all, especially when it has to do with the ABC party. No answers. So, just as I said, it was going to be before a crap show. That's exactly what it was, unfortunately. I actually turned it off. I got so annoyed. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I got so annoyed by all the lies. It just made me sick. So will ABC be investigated, as they very well should be? That's the main whistleblower. Now that the main whistleblower is not there, it's very doubtful. They got rid of them, just like Boeing got rid of their whistleblowers, so they're not being investigated like they should be. Any mass media outlet should be held accountable, especially ABC. It's going to take more than just a rigged debate to bring down the media, that's for sure, or one lying news story or anything like that. They already have been failing and lying to us for a long time. And you know what's happening? They're already collapsing. The mass media is already beginning to fall. Why? Because folks are turning to independent media, especially the younger generations. They don't watch that crap. Good for them. Watch the independent news media, like Redacted News. I like them. There's a lot more to come, Spirit assures us, when it comes to the lies of the big media and them being caught in those lies. People are going to begin to demand accountability when we step in to 2025, according to my spirits. Let us move on. After all the media lies and deception, we move on now to the next topic. A second attempt in eliminating Donald Trump, not just from the race, but from the planet Earth completely. Just like they did to John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King. Same thing. Right around the same astrological alignments that are happening now. No coincidences there either. Therefore, the global elite are going to continue to orchestrate a plan. This time, trying to ensure their success in removing Trump from the playing field completely. Removing him from the earth completely. And we know now, by now anyway, that the first attempt on Trump in Pennsylvania was certainly orchestrated, planned, because there's so much shady stuff that continues to be covered up. The media shut the story down quite quickly. They stopped talking about it quite quickly, especially, when it comes to independent media sources actually being able to bring out the truth. Made all the other media outlets shut the story down very, very quickly because the independent media was the ones asking the best questions, but presenting the best evidence as well. And that evidence is pretty much clear that it was orchestrated from behind the scenes in some form or another. The first attempt, anyway. I predicted that first attempt, stating that I saw Trump being hit in the right shoulder and putting his arm up, that he was all right. I was off by a couple inches, but still right on. After that happened, I went live the day that happened and told you there's going to be another attempt on him from a distance with a pow. And lo and behold, as you know, after I stated there would be another attempt to take him out from that distance, we see in Florida on his golf course, or on a golf course, this happened. The guy was camped out on that golf course fence edge for overnight. How did they not check the perimeter of the golf course? There's just, again, so many questions to be asked from this incident, just like the last one. The guy happens to be from Hawaii. That's a little shady, too. Are the media going to make him out to be a lone gunman? I haven't watched any news media on this, but is that what they're going to do? They always make it the lone gunman, right? Like they did with JFK and Martin Luther King. So as they always attempt to do. And we know when they say it's a lone gunman, we know that they're never alone in their attempt. There's someone behind the scenes pulling the strings. And when I say not alone, I mean not alone. Again, in the assistance that they receive from somewhere, somehow, like this guy in Florida. So this guy, not Florida, well, it was in Florida, but he was from Hawaii. So what did he do? Fly all the way from Hawaii to Florida? Purchase a rifle and ammunition when he arrived? With the rap sheet that he had? Because the guy had a huge rap sheet. He was even in Ukraine filming videos, trying to get Americans to go over there to fight. The CIA certainly knew that was happening. So the CIA knew very clearly, and the FBI knew clearly who this guy was. You don't go over to the Ukraine during a conflict and them not know who you are, especially if you're coming from America and posting videos on social media. So that, all of this, and him, again, going there, and where did he get the rifle from and all that? That's my questions. And how come they didn't check the perimeter? He slept out overnight. Nobody saw him. Nobody said anything. It just seems really, really shady, friends. Not only that, the police say that when they showed up, the guy had no emotions whatsoever. No sweat or anxiety like he was nervous. Not even a response that he was the guy they were actually looking for. Could this be another one of those MK Ultra attempts by the global elite or the CIA or the three-letter agencies or the Secret Service? It's only a two-letter agency. So more truth is going to come out about this, friends, and more truth is going to come out about the guy. But it's going to be years, Spirit says, before we actually discover the actual real truth of who has been trying to take out Trump. Who, when, where, why, and all those questions. Spirit shows me clearly, and again, this is what Spirit showed me clearly this morning, that Obama and Hillary both know the secret. They know the secret. I don't know what the secret is. You don't know what the secret is, but those two know the secret, and the secret has something to do with eliminating Donald Trump. And I find that to be very interesting, but I don't find it at all to be surprising, do you? I always want to know what you think in the comments below, and always positive messages, please. I don't, negative messages get deleted, and negative people get blocked. So let me share with you my very disturbing dream that I had last night, actually. Very disturbing dream. It was more like a nightmare. And I'm not saying this has anything to do with predictions. You know, not all dreams come true, and people either have prophetic dreams or they don't. Sometimes people be like, oh my God, I had this dream. My husband died in a crash, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm worried it's going to happen. I'm like, did your dreams ever come true before? No? Then what makes you think they're going to come true now? Just saying. Now, if the answer is yes and your dreams come true all the time, then yeah, then you might be concerned for your husband if that was your dream. But majority of the time, no, it's not going to come true. So I don't know. This dream could come true. I don't know. I've had dreams come true. But not in all details, because this dream was really weird. And basically, this dream was as if I woke up from a coma. And when I woke up from the coma, guess who was president? It wasn't Trump. It was Harris. She was president. I was very confused. in the whole thing. What happened? How'd she get there? And in the same dream, there was a funeral for Donald Trump. And I'm thinking in this dream, I woke up, and I would have had to have woke up either late November or even in 2025 in this dream. And I think in my dream, it was 2025 because it just seemed like she was there a while because there was a lot going on. There were fires burning, and I don't know if they were wildfires, but I felt like they were set. There were fires burning all over the United States. There was a huge concern. People were high anxiety in my dream, freaking out. What else? Yeah, and in accordance to, because I remember in my dream I asked what happened to Trump. Oh, they shot him in the head. And then it flipped. Remember I said the pancake flip? So what would happen then if he won the election, right? And then they took him out, because that was kind of my feeling that it might be that he was taken out afterwards or something. It was very confusing in this dream. Very, very confusing. But what wasn't confusing is who was in charge and how bad it was. And in my dream, she looked really bad, too. She looked really weathered. She was gray. And you know how they aged. But I wasn't that far. I felt like I was in 2025. It just all happened. Like I woke up and I was like, wow, how all this happened? How long have I been asleep for? And so I was thinking that December, like if he were to become the president, what would happen if they took him out? Would Vance become the president? Because I didn't see him. Oh, that's what I saw in my dream. I forgot about that. Then she wasn't there long. And she left. And then I don't know what her candidate's name is, but he creeps me out big time. Her vice president candidate became the president in my dream. All quickly, too. It was all quick. Like, again, say I woke up and it was like January. It was after she, again, obviously took the inauguration. So we'll say February I woke up. And she was already weathered. There was so much happening in the country and in the world. Things were collapsing. And then she's gone. And then this vice president steps in. Let's hope this is just a nightmare, not a dream that comes true. Let's just keep it like that. Let's keep it at that. So, moving right along. That was disturbing. Did you see that Biden placed a Trump hat on his head and he was smiling ever so happily? What did I tell you? That man's bitter. He's very bitter. He should be bitter. They blocked him out. They basically did a coup on the White House and Biden. I don't know how people don't see this. I don't know why people are so blind. I have friends, they're all about Harris and all about that. And I'm like, how do you people not see what's really happening with the web of darkness right now? I guess they're not meant to. I guess that, like they say, you got to learn the hard way, right? You got to learn the hard way. And I feel like Americans are going to learn the hard way really, really, really soon. But Biden put that hat on all happy, and I think he was trying to tell us something metaphorically. I think he was sending a sign. He was putting a statement out there because, he was trying to tell America something in that placement. Something. Because he's mad. He's mad at, when I tap into it, he's mad at Obama, even more mad at Harris. And it's interesting because Spirit says Obama doesn't even like her. That's why I remember I said there was going to be something that would happen that would switch them, that something would switch with her. I still feel like that's on the table, that something could happen that ends up switching it. Could it potentially be that she gets taken out as well? What if both candidates were taken out, Trump and Harris? It's a high potential for what's happening energetically over the next month, especially when we step into October. So what we need to do is just hold in the light with prayers that the best outcome that is for the good of all Americans and the good of the world is the outcome that takes place. Not focusing on specific persons or anything, but the best outcome. Because in my opinion, I don't think either one of them are the best for our country. I think there's something better for our country. And we need to put out that vibe that the best outcome can conclude all of us without putting anybody in that hat. So, speaking of hats, the Trump hat on Biden. That was kind of funny. So Trump and Putin are both the biggest targets on the planet by the global elite, according to Spirit. They're on the global elite's top 10 wanted criminals, right? They're not criminals, but they're wanted. And that's Putin and Trump. Maybe they are. I don't know. But I'm just using an example. Like the FBI is top wanted. This is the global elite's top wanted. And not top wanted in jail, top wanted gone and forgotten. And they want Trump and Putin are at the top of that list. Putin's actually at the top of that list. I also feel Julian Assange is also going to be he needs to be very, very careful. That's what I feel. And I said this in the past, but it came to me this morning. He popped up in my head, Julian Assange. He needs to be careful because I feel like he may be coming to an end soon. I feel like Julian Assange could pass away soon and they could make it appear like natural causes, but it would not be. And what Spirit showed me is that Hillary still wishes to bring him and his family harm. I'm telling you, that woman she's evil, man. She's an evil witch. So remember, I saw someone being poisoned earlier this year. I think it might have even been, I believe, in my 2024 world predictions. I feel, of course, Donald Trump must be extremely mindful of what he eats and drinks. But more so, I feel it's Putin. And I feel like somebody on the inside, and that the CIA has already infiltrated within Putin's close circle of people. So the CIA is already working in that close circle of people. So there's already an insider. Oh, speaking of insiders, let me go back for a minute. This just popped in my brain. The guy in Florida that was caught trying to assassinate Donald Trump. Not only was that guy there hanging out the night before, this was the big question that got raised. How did he know Trump was going to be there? Because there was no announcement, and actually he wasn't planning on being there. It was a last minute detail that he decided he wanted to go play golf. Last minute. And that guy was camped out the night before. So who inside told him? I told you there's insiders around Trump. I told you that he needed to be aware of who he surrounds himself with. I said that when he was the president the last time. And look what happened. He needs to watch that with those that protect him. You know what Trump really needs to do? He needs to hire his own personal security detail and get the Secret Service out of there. That's what he needs to do, in my opinion. Let's go back to Putin. Spirit shows me that they have been infiltrated, Putin and his little clan of people around him. And they're making an attempt. And I see they have a little vial with something liquid, pouring it in his drink at the table. So he's at the big round table, meeting with people. And somebody pours it in his drink. But he might not drink that drink right away. If he does drink that drink, I see him collapsing in that room where the table is. So it happens pretty quickly. They'll try to say, of course, it was a heart attack. And that wouldn't be good either. That would make things worse in the long run, is what Spirit says. They want him out bad, just like they want Trump out bad. So, speaking of outs, I had many visions and things of seeing celebrities being arrested. And I told you I saw people being rounded up and arrested. And I saw lots of arrests. And I believe a lot of that's coming in 2025. But I said this even last year, and we did. We saw Trump being arrested. That's a political celebrity arrest. I told you some would be legitimate arrests. Some would be, again, using the justice system for somebody's benefit. So I made predictions around the arrests of political leaders and celebrities both. One that we discussed happened to be Sean P. Diddy Combs, who was arrested over the weekend, along with the former aide for the New York governor, who was apparently colluding with China. No doubt that she was, actually. No doubt Spirit said 100%. But this is what Spirit was telling us. We're going to start to discover how much our political system has been infiltrated by foreign countries like China. Mainly China. Mainly. They're the main ones. And then when it goes for Sean P. Diddy Combs, I told you that there was a lot of darkness there, and he had connections to the Epstein circle. I didn't say Epstein directly, but the Epstein circle, Spirit says. So is he going to get Epsteined while in custody? I think he's probably out now on bail, I would imagine. I didn't really look deeply into the story. I just saw the story of him being arrested. Didn't go really into it at all. And they're not telling you why he was arrested. I did read the story briefly, but they're not telling you why. They're not giving you any reasons. But let me tell you, they don't arrest you after doing all that investigation, raiding your home, raiding your homes, and taking everything. FBI, that's serious stuff right there. And they don't arrest you if they don't have a damn good reason to. Darn good reason. His life is in jeopardy, Spirit says. And I could see a rope around his throat. Meaning not that he would be doing that himself, but that be being Epstein, as they say. And I see that as a very strong possibility for Sean P. Diddy Combs. Again, a strong possibility that Sean P. Diddy Combs will be taken out and Epsteined somewhere along the line. And so much more is going to come out because I see other celebrity arrests in connection to P. Diddy Combs. That's what Spirit shows me. It's going to get real, friends. It's going to get real. Wait till October. Wait till October. It's all just kicking off. Also, what's kicking off is oil fires. Remember Spirit warned that we would see more and more incidents and accidents, whether they be really accidents or not, revolved around oil rigs and gas pipelines and refineries. I had a vision of a large pipeline explosion. Texas, being a big oil state, was one of the places I warned, along with parts of the Middle East as well. We just witnessed one of my visions that I had not that long ago, a couple months ago. I had a vision of a major oil pipeline explosion. This came into fruition over the weekend in Texas. A massive disaster causing nearby homes to catch fire. And if you recall, in one of my past visions related to the oil fires in the middle, I saw visions that related me to Desert Storm. And that's when they said Saddam Hussein lit them on fire. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, who knows. But it reminded me of that. And that's kind of what this looked like. It didn't look as bad as the Middle East, because that was a whole bunch of them. This was just one on fire. And it kind of looked and resembled that pretty darn closely. Just not as many of them. And again, it also burned and caused local homes to catch fire as well. It burned a lot, friends. It was an amazing, and they said they have to let it burn out completely after turning off the pipeline, all because of an accident. So we just witnessed not only that vision coming into fruition, I feel like not just witnessed. Sorry, just lost my spot in my brain. Totally lost my spot in my brain. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Not only did we just witness that, soon we're going to witness many others to come. Because Spirit shows as the global elite push their lying green energy agenda, which is really meant to make them more money while further enslaving the rest of us, we are going to see more incidents, especially in acts of war, where oil refineries and pipelines will be huge targets. I see radicals doing something to a pipeline in the United States. And in my vision, I was kind of out in the woods somewhere or in the wilderness somewhere. And this poses the question in my mind to this person, to these less than smart people. Do you actually realize what such a disaster will do to the environment? Don't mess with that stuff. Don't mess with it. I don't care how angry or what you're trying to do. Don't mess with that stuff. And such disasters not only due to the environment, these psychopaths they're just pushing this agenda, according to Spirit, in order to sabotage oil and gas without considering at all for one moment the impact it's going to have not just on the environment, but on people's health as well. The elite definitely don't care about our health. They have all their cures. They don't worry about us. Another thing that we're going to witness is during the winter months, Spirit showed me a record amount of fires. mostly home apartment buildings, all being caused mainly from careless use of electric and other sources of heat. Most heating-related fires are going to be caused by electrical heaters. One electrical heater is going to be recalled after causing multiple fires, and class action lawsuits will follow against this company, perhaps multiple companies who have connections to the same manufacturing company. So friends, please be very mindful when the winter months kick in and the cold kicks in, when it comes to keeping warm, or anything when it comes to potential fire hazards. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher near your stove when you're cooking. I have one right next to my stove, always have. Because, that's one of the biggest things. I've seen people's houses catch fire from their kitchen. I've seen people burn their kitchens up. Their house was saved, but their kitchen was burned up. Have a fire extinguisher nearby, friends. Be mindful. Don't leave a million things plugged into one little extension cord. Just be mindful about it. And with that said, friends, that sums it up for today. I put out a lot of new predictions over the past week, and I have another message from Spirit video that I hope to work on tomorrow. And then I am on my birthday getaway vacay, which is just unplugging and just doing me for a few days. But before I do that, I got two things to move on to. First, you've got mail. But also I want to ask anybody out there, because I know we got some computer tech people out there. I have this Canon camera here. It's the Canon Vixia HFR 700. And I forgot I had it, and I just came across it, and I bought a new battery and all for it and everything, a new disc for memory. It's a great camera. I paid a lot of money for it a couple years ago, I think in 2016. There's a newer model, of course, this 800, but this is the 700. And this is the problem I'm having that I can't figure out, and I tried looking and searching, and I don't want to buy a new camera if I don't need to. But the mic output. So I've been plugging the mic output with the mic wire that you see from here to my soundboard that you see here. And I can't get it to work. I cannot get it to work. No matter what I try, I cannot get the microphone to work. Has anybody got any tips on that? Please do let me know in the comments down below. I would greatly appreciate it, because I really don't want to have to buy another camera. And what if I bought another camera and it's a solvable issue? Oh, I forgot about lottery tickets here. But let's check this mail, because I got some mail this week, because it is my birthday week. And first, where'd this come from? This came from Linda D. in New Mexico. These are prints from Paint Shop I have done of Buddha. I always see Buddha in your videos and know you like them. This is a small way I can contribute to your wonderful gift you share with us. Sincerely, Linda in New Mexico. I think that says New Mexico. I didn't fully open these prints yet. Problem is I just simply have... Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool picture. Lots of cool pictures. All of the Buddha. Lovely Buddha. Lovely, lovely prints. Lovely prints, Linda. Thank you. And a lovely card that goes with it. Buddha. Buddhaful. Buddhaful. Beautiful. That's funny. Beautiful. Moving right along, I got this card from Montana. I can't read that name on the front. This comes from I think, is it M-O, Montana? I think so. Or is it Missouri? No, Missouri's M-I. That's a cool card. Your birthday. The date, your birthday. Planet Earth. Aliens have finally made contact, and they want just one thing. I don't know if you can hear that, because my mic has that sound thing. But it's little alien saying, "Happy birthday, alien." And this is from my student apprentice, Billy Knox. Thank you, Billy. I hope you're doing well, Billy. You always send me a card for birthday. You are awesome. Thank you, gentlemen. You're such a gentleman. And this one comes from, it doesn't tell me. There's no return envelope, no return address. Return to sender. Oh, does that say Idaho? Hey ho, I'm from Idaho. You deserve a day to remember. That's a pretty waterfall. You deserve a day to remember. Many best wishes and a wonderful birthday, Holly. Wow, Holly sent me a 50 spot. Thank you, Holly. Have a holly jolly Christmas. You know Christmas is coming. I know it's not even my birthday yet, but it just made me think of that. Then I have another card here from Florida. People who think laughter is the best medicine apparently never had morphine. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, damn. 100 spot. I sure miss my precious Mary Jean, and thank you. I do miss my precious Mary Jean for hanging her portrait up as your guided angel. This is from Debbie TT. She sent me that. She made that and sent me that precious Mary Jean over my shoulder. Hope your birthday is a real trip. That's funny. Stay trippy. I hope your birthday is a real trip. That's actually funny. Hippie. I'm definitely a little hippie at heart. Definitely. Thank you for the 100 spot there, Debbie TT. You are. And I love that card. People who think laughter is the best medicine apparently never had morphine. I thought that was pretty funny. I don't know about you. And where's this one come from? This one comes from California. California, here we come. Right back where we started from. California. And a 20 spot from Bill W. Joseph, I loved your videos. You are an amazing guy. No beating around the bush. Enclosed is my humble $20 to support your YouTube. I will continue to support you. Not too sure on how to arrange a small reading with you or be a subscriber. You can always schedule readings with me. Thank you, by the way. That was very kind of you to send me that, Bill. I appreciate that. You can schedule readings directly on my website at josephtittel.com or spiritmanjt.com. Thank you for the birthday love. I appreciate it. And the spots, I really appreciate it. Maybe I'll go to casinos and turn it into even more money. I only went there 3 times in Arizona. Every time I left with money. And I plan on leaving again with money the next time. Always manifest. Hold a vision of your future. Every day, live it as if you're already living it. Win it as if you already have that money in your hands. And you will have that money in your hands. And don't forget to check out my class, Transform into Abundance, coming up in November. Everything's on my website, spiritmanjt.com. Thank you for all your love and support. Thank you for your cards and your gifts. I am so very, very grateful. Your contributions, the members of this channel, the members of Subscribestar support platform. I couldn't do it without you. I appreciate you allowing me to provide all this amazing free content to all of you and to our tribe. And I hope you vibe with our tribe and smash that subscribe before you go. And thank you for clicking the thumbs up love button. Until the next time, friends, remember, celebrate life, celebrate you. Be kind to others as you wish others be kind to you. And most importantly, like my little sign over my shoulder, be bold, be true, be kind, be you. Let your light shine. And have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste and much love. Much love, friends.